guys, Swisher Homestead here. We have great news. Today is our
1 year anniversary.
1 year we've been on the homestead. Our lives have changed dramatically.
For the better.
I mean, unbelievably for the better.
Yeah.
Health, everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into for our 1 year anniversary, we're going to go into a top 5 column for Amy and a top 5 column for us of what we've learned, done on the homestead. And we're going to start off with Amy.
Yep.
So go on, Amy.
So my number 5 is I've learned some basic carpentry skills, being able to use some of Justin's tools to help him out. And it's just stuff that I've never had an opportunity or a need to before. Because when you live in the city, like we've lived in homes, we've lived in apartments, something breaks, you call somebody else, they come out to your place and they fix it.
Yeah.
Here, we have to fix it. So if something goes wrong, something breaks, it's on us to get it fixed.
And if I'm not here, she needs to learn how to fix this stuff. She needs to learn how to change propane tanks. She needs to learn how to fix a water line. What happens if the water line breaks and I'm not here? She's got to be able to fix it in the pump house. So I try to teach her everything so she can do this stuff. So if something does happen and I'm not here, she can do it.
Yep.
Now, that's one thing I want to talk to you guys about right now. You guys out there, you need to teach your ladies how to do this stuff. Because if something happens to you, God forbid, you end up in the hospital or something else, they've got to be able to take care of themselves. So they have to become independent in themselves also. But if you don't teach them, they'll never become dependent for themselves and be able to take over stuff. You get hurt or something, you're going to depend on that woman, let me tell you.
Yep. My number 4 is I learned how to cook on a gas grill and cook quite a few things. Justin does most of the cooking. As you guys know, he's a chef. So he does do most of the cooking. But I've learned how, I make breakfast every morning, and I've learned how to adjust the temperature to make sure that the eggs are done perfectly, the bacon's done perfectly. This morning I made omelets, so I've learned how to adjust the temperature on the gas grill where I've always had an electric stove before. And so that's been very different, but I've learned how to do that, and now I can make breakfast like this and it's not burnt.
No, it's not burnt. Thank God for me, it's not burnt. Well, it takes a load off of me too, because I don't have to worry about cooking breakfast. And she also does lunch too. I mean, she makes us lunch, whether it's sandwiches, grilled cheese, grilled ham and cheese. Sometimes we'll have hot dogs as a special thing for us to have for lunch.
Or soup.
Soup. Yeah, we'll heat up soup. We'll have tomato soup for lunch with a grilled cheese she'll make. And she's really got it down pat. She knows how to do it. She knows how to take care of it, which is a big plus. Yeah,
and that sounds like something simple. You know, people cook on the grill all the time. This is every meal on the propane grill.
Pretty much.
And because, the only other cook source that we have is the wood stove in the wintertime.
Yeah, but during the summer we can't use it, so you gotta use this stuff.
Yeah, every other day or every day is cooking on the grill, and so it's learning how to cook different things, and we've learned to the point where we can now bake biscuits in there. So there's other things that we've learned how to cook in there. We can do frozen pizza as a treat.
Yeah, boy, when I get that frozen pizza as a treat, I'm gonna have to camp her, because that's less cooking I have to do on top of it. Well, we can make our own. I can make my own dough and everything here. We go through that. But sometimes, on the homestead, you're just, it's been a long day, you've had a lot going on, and it's a quick, easy thing to do.
Yep.
Thanks, DiGiorno.
Yep. This is not a sponsored video.
Yeah, this is not a sponsored video.
My number 3 thing I've learned on the homestead is how to take care of chickens and keep them happy. We have very happy chickens, other than the 4 that we've lost, which was through no fault of our own. That was predators that got into, everybody knows, we had that one chicken named Red that Justin loved. And a dog came and carried her away because she kept getting out of the chicken run all the time. That was on her. She kept getting out of the chicken run all the time, and then our neighbor's dog came down and got her. And then we have 3 other chickens that we know one was gotten by a hawk, and then 2 other chickens we don't really know what happened. Yeah,
one just disappeared.
One disappeared completely, and another one we found a pile of feathers and feet.
Yep.
So it's all been predators when they've gotten out of the coop. But other than that, Even here in the wintertime, we have 7 laying hens. We get 3 to 5 eggs a day.
Yeah.
And it's wintertime here, so.
And they've already went through the molting process, so
yeah.
They just finished up that.
But we figured out pretty quickly what makes our chickens happy. And what makes them, how much food we need to feed them every day for optimal egg production, how to set up their coop so they are happy. We know that they like hay, a mixture of hay and leaves and stuff in their chicken run. They like the wood chips inside the chicken coop, and then hay in their nesting boxes. If we don't do it that way, they're not happy. We don't get as many eggs.
That's true.
They squawk a lot more.
Yeah.
They're happy chickens. They love when we put the hay in the chicken run.
All right, don't get me wrong. These chickens are spoiled. They are spoiled.
That's what makes them happy. But I never thought I'd have chickens like this, and just learning all the different things that it takes to keep the chickens and do what we do to get the eggs that we get.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't. The eggs taste so much better and different than the ones you get from the store. Cost-wise, it's probably more expensive to have the chickens that we do versus the eggs that we would buy at the store. We were buying the more expensive eggs at the store.
Yeah, it's about $5.
A dozen.
Was it a dozen or was it 18 eggs?
No, it was a dozen. Because we would get the cage-free organic eggs, the brown eggs. We've been getting those for a couple of years. But our chicken eggs taste even better than that.
Because there are chickens.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it's the best investment we could have had. Now, we might pay a little more in feed.
Yeah.
And we might do a little extra work for them. But they're such a pleasure to have. And on top of it, they're so fun to watch.
I know.
They really are.
That's our entertainment.
They're comical. Exactly.
They're so funny.
We can literally sit in chairs out there in front of the coop and just watch them. Yeah, we have
before, My number 2 thing that I learned since being out here is I learned how to use a wood stove. And when I say use, I mean use it to create heat in the tiny home, as well as if we get the fire hot enough, both Justin and I can cook on it. I've made breakfast on the wood stove before when it's been in the teens outside, and I don't want to go outside and use it.
You made coffee on it before?
We've made coffee on it before. And we will do that in a pinch if something's going on with our coffee maker. We can use we have a coffee pot that we can put
knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood.
That doesn't happen to our coffee pot, because that's our go-to in the morning.
Yeah.
Without coffee in the morning, that's it. And I don't do none of the cocoa nib stuff and all that, because it's not coffee. I want coffee.
But so I mean, we've both figured out how, with the wood stove, where to put the damper at, where to put the flue at, so that we can maximize when you need to change the flue or when you need to adjust the flue. I know that when I first put a log on there, if it's just coals in the wood stove, I need to open the flue all the way so that new log I just put on there is going to catch. And then once the log catches, then I know where I need to adjust the flue to maximize the heat production inside the tiny home. And then the damper too, to know where to put that. So I think that helps keep us warm, and we've learned how to what we need to do at nighttime, where the flue needs to be, where the damper needs to be, how much wood to put in the wood stove so it stays warm and the fire stays lit all night long. Yeah.
So it's not like you just grab a piece of wood, throw wood in there, and just burn it and you're done. No, there is a science to it,
and it was trial and error to figure out what that was.
And every wood stove is different. Not all wood stoves are the same. Some things might work for us that don't. It all depends on the type of wood you burn. I mean, there are so many different situations with the wood stove right there that now that we've got it down to a T, and if you guys haven't seen it, maybe posted here, down there, or somewhere about the wood that we inherited, in a sense, that we came across that we burn in our wood stove. And I'll tell you what, I love the wood stove. There's a few things I prefer not to have with a wood stove, which is the ash and the dust from the wood stove. But other than that, it's great. It's great. It keeps us warm, snugly warm. Sometimes it gets so hot you can't even. You gotta open up windows just to breathe. It gets that hot in here.
Yeah.
And yes, we do put a pot of water on there.
Yep.
We do that probably. I'll do that for a couple of days, and I'll take it off, and then I'll put another one back on there for a couple of days, and I'll take it off. Kind of rotation.
Yeah, so it keeps the moisture in the air in here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it gets too dry, if it's just a wood stove and you don't keep any moisture in here, then the air can get too dry inside, and it can actually cause a person to have nosebleeds.
Yeah, we don't want that.
And we don't want that.
No nosebleeds in this household.
Nope. And my number one thing that I learned out here is things that I took for granted before moving out to an off-grid property. So like brushing your teeth in the morning, you turn on the water, and you know, some people just let it run. I don't think I did. I would turn it off in between, but some people just let it run. Having a dishwasher, having a washer and dryer readily available that I could wash and dry my clothes whenever I wanted to.
Having a stove.
Having a regular stove.
You just turn it on and it's done. An oven, turn it on, it's done.
Yeah. And so, and having access to electricity, having access to Wi-Fi, having access to running water all the time. And so, you know, coming out here, we have a lot of those things now. Like we have our generator, so that generator runs and powers our electricity. We use hotspots on our phone to power our Wi-Fi. We're fortunate enough that there is a Wi-Fi tower pretty close to us, so it gives us pretty good signals being up here on top of the ridge.
Yeah,
so
it's about 5 miles.
That's a good booster for us.
Yeah.
So that's why we get such good signal. Having the running water, we have figured out how to exactly where to set the Insta-Hot water tank so that it gives us nice hot showers that we can take we take them every couple of days. We could take it every day.
Yeah, hot water for dishes.
Yeah, hot water for dishes is a challenge. And so all of those things I took for granted before. And so now I know how precious they are, and how much I appreciate what it is we have out here and what we have done.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a shock to the system if you start Homestead, and it is definitely a shock to the system. But it makes you realize how thankful you should have been for what you had and how you took advantage of it.
Yep.
But now, I wouldn't give up anything.
Nope.
All right?
Yep.
So now it's my turn to talk about my top 5 things that I learned since I've been out here. Let me tell you guys, there's one thing I want you all to know is that you can do all the research you want to on a homestead, which I did, and you never know what you're going to get until you're in the position that we were in. Coming out here was an enlightenment to me that when I did all my research and I watched all my YouTube videos and I did all this stuff, I thought that I learned so much and it looked so easy. But guys, let me tell you, it turned out to be one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. To try to create a home out of nothing. I mean, when we came out here, it was just woods. Go watch some of the first videos that we produced that when we got out here, and it was nothing but woods. We were living in a tent. We didn't have any running water.
Yeah.
We only had 5 gallons of water on hand at all times, and 5 gallons is not a lot of water. You guys realize. God, I just learned so much, and I appreciate so much more of all the things that I've learned being on the homestead. You know, I mean, you watch a million YouTube videos, but when it really comes down to it, until you're out there and you're really toughing it out, and we've toughed it out on some pretty hard times, and you know, we made it through, and you can make it through too. But you just got to learn that, you know, you have no control over the situation out here. You're at Mother Nature's mercy. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Now you got to figure out is how to get past it and move on. So that's one of the things that I really have to say. Fencing. Boy, fencing is a whole nother situation. Fencing is my kryptonite. I'll be honest. That is my kryptonite. This summer we had our son down here, and he was helping me install a fence. And let me tell you, I don't think I can ever recall a day that I've ever worked the hardest as I have putting fence in. From running bob wire to being weld wire. I mean, fencing is the hardest job. I mean, I prefer to chop wood all day than fence.
I think they both fell asleep right after dinner was done.
Yeah. It wakes you out, man. It is so physically, and you wouldn't think, putting in some T-posts, putting in some H-brace and stuff isn't a lot of work, but man, when you're using shovels and you're using clips and pliers and snap rings, and you're using friggin' so many different tools, post hole digger to dig all the holes, that takes it out of you. And then it doesn't help when you do it in the summer when it's 100 degrees out. It kicks your butt. So I'd have to say fencing is something I did learn, and I appreciate what I learned, because I appreciate now when you drive past somebody's house and you see a fence there, you know how much work you put into it. You can tell how much work they put into it when they did it.
Yeah.
And depending on what they put in. I mean, even T-post with bob wire is hard work. I mean, it's really hard work. But that's one of my kryptonite points right there. Number 4 will have to be heavy equipment. Heavy equipment is my big thing. Now, I have used tractors before. I have used lawnmowers and stuff like that. But I mean tractors, small tractors. Nothing like using skid steers and Tracos, and I mean, none of this stuff that I ever really had to use before. There was no need for it. You live in the city, you need something done, you call a guy out, you pay him, he does it, it's done, finished, over with. But when it's dependent on you, let me tell you, I've learned a lot. I've really learned a lot about heavy equipment. Y'all might not know this, but at one point in time in my life, I took a little break from the restaurant business, and I actually did hydraulics. So I did some work and made hoses and did some repair work on some heavy equipment and did some repair work on pumps and stuff like that. So I do have a small amount of background in that I learned through the years of my life. And I'll tell you, heavy equipment, I could do that all day and get paid for it. I'll be honest with you. I love doing it. I think it's fun. Everybody says, "Oh, it's work." Blah, blah. To me, it's not work. To me, it's fun, man. When you can take a piece of equipment and the things that you can do and the amount of work that you can get done with heavy equipment is, bar none, it beats going out there and trying to break your back and try to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Prime example of heavy equipment, how it works. And on one of our videos, Amy will hopefully put a link there for the video, is we had a chipper come out here onto our land and chip up most of the pine trees and stuff that we had for one side of our paddock that we had. And I'll tell you what, guys, it's amazing how much work that saved us. That would have been 6 months to a year's worth of work that he did in a day.
Yeah.
So you got to pick and choose your battles on the homesteads and what's worth doing yourself and what's not worth doing yourself. And I'll tell you right now, it's not worth cutting down 200 trees. It's worth paying the guy to come out here and do it, because one, by having him come out, you're not causing damage to yourself. You're not taking a chance. You're not getting hurt. He's going out with a piece of equipment. He's doing it all, and he's chipping it, which means you have chips that you can either scoop up into a wheelbarrow or into a cat or whatever, and be able to use that in other spots of your homestead, like doing some of your beds, putting it in your garden, mixing it in your compost. So you got to really pick and choose your battles on the work that you're going to do and the damage you want to cause to your body. Just remember, anything you do on the homestead, you will feel it later.
Yes.
All right. So the top five for me, the top 5 is. Top 5 for me, guys, is I learned how to use a chainsaw. I really learned how to use a chainsaw. I don't like it, but I learned how to do it. Yeah. And that's that's one for me that is a big push for me. Is, you know, sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone and try new things.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Chainsaw is not one of them that I really wanted to try, but I had no choice. Because here on the homestead, as you know, the wood stove, without firewood, you freeze.
Yep.
So you have to learn. Now, luckily, you know, we have Wes, and if you watched our wood video with Wes in him, it's the first time you guys ever got introduced to Wes being in the video, and he was pretty cool about doing it. I mean, he was pretty happy about doing it. So hopefully, I get him to start his own channel because he's pretty awesome with a lot of stuff he does. He really is pretty awesome with the stuff he does.
He does a lot of custom. He built his whole cabin that he and his wife live in now.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
He's really very talented.
Yeah. And, you know, I learned a lot from him too, but his family has been lumberjacks all of his life. So he grew up in this. He grew up in having to cut trees down and using chainsaws and this and that. So it's really nice to have somebody, and don't get me wrong, you can go to YouTube, but asking the person to actually show you versus watching somebody do it on YouTube and going, okay, there are so many different scenarios that can change on you in a heartbeat, that without that experience or without having somebody that you can actually talk to, you'd kill yourself. Or
because the wind could blow the wrong way. The tree could be angled a way that you didn't notice it. And then you cut it wrong and the tree falls back the wrong way. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong when you're cutting down trees.
Yeah, see, Amy's even learned a lot about cutting down trees. I've only had, since we've been on the homestead, knock on wood, 2 close times, and I don't ever want to see those 2 close times again. 2?
I only knew about 1.
One was you were at work and I was here. And
oh no.
I had a tree kick back out on me. But, you know, I lived through it. I'm alive here now, and, you know, I would have to say that, chainsaw work is definitely a scary situation. So you guys out there with your homesteads and stuff and your chainsaw, remember, man, that chainsaw is dangerous. And you can get hurt if you're not paying attention. You have to be completely focused. If not, you could get hurt. You could lose a limb. You could possibly die, unfortunately. By just one little mistake. And you never think a tree, when you look at wood, but you never think a tree could take you out, but it can. It really can.
So it comes down to it. Now that we've done our top 5, it comes down to it. Would we do this again?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
This is, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but like when we go to town and stuff, and there are times that we do have to go to town. We still have to buy stuff at the store. So when we go to town and we are coming back, the closer we get to home, the happier I get.
Yeah, it is.
And so, see, so I know that's the same for you. So this is my happy place. So, I mean, there are times when I go outside in the morning to cook breakfast and the sun is coming up and I can see the chickens, you know, in the coop, or if I've let them out already or whatever. And I just take a deep breath of the fresh air that's out there, and I just appreciate being out here and having this opportunity. And I love our homestead and, you know, what we've been able to accomplish and what we've finished so far,
we've
and
accomplished a lot in a year,
and our vision for where we want our homestead to be in the next 5 years.
So anyways, guys, so would we never do this again? I'm telling you, I would do this in a heartbeat again. With what I know now, I'd still do it. I'll tell you what, there is no better feeling than walking outside and looking around and knowing that you manicured, you did the hard work, put in the hard labor to produce what we've produced so far. That we've only been here a year. Only 1 year we've been here, and I think for 1 year we've accomplished a lot. Now
we still have a lot more to do.
There's something I'd like to bring out right now for all you people who are watching this thing. YouTube does not pay us a dime. Nothing. Nobody nothing. We did this on our own. We are not rich. We are poor just like everybody else.
Yep.
So anybody who looks and sees all, some of the videos you see Amy's car, Amy's worked hard for that car.
Yep.
That car was not just handed to her, and I just want to get this out of there now for 1 year. I've had a lot of people say, oh, you're only on YouTube to make money, blah, blah. We don't make any money. We do this because we like to do the videos.
We do this because our kids don't live close to us.
Yep.
My mom is our only parent that's,
Hi, Mom.
that's living, and so she likes to watch our videos.
Yeah.
So we do this so that our family, who thought we were crazy,
they did.
can see what it is that we do. And if we get to the point where our channel is big enough that we do get a paycheck from YouTube, then so be it.
Yeah,
but that's not the reason that we document or what we're doing.
I'll be honest with you, I really don't care about that. I really don't. It's about us right now, right here. Our viewers watching us progress and know that we're two real people.
Yeah.
And we go through all the same trials and tribulations that everybody else goes through. Our marriage is solid. This is my best friend.
Yep.
We fight just like normal people fight. We don't fight often. It's very far and few between when we do. But if we didn't, we wouldn't be normal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff being on the homestead for a year that has just completely changed.
Yeah. I think our relationship is better now than it was before.
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah. We communicate more because you have to.
Yeah. On the homestead, you got to have the communication or there is no... And you got to support each other. I mean, through the good and the bad, you have no choice. It's support each other or feast or famine, basically, in a sense. But yeah, I just want you guys to know that we don't get paid anything from YouTube. This is not about YouTube. This is about our kids, our grandkids, our mom, everybody, my family, being able to watch what we do to see that this is not a joke. We're actually doing this. Yeah. I hear all the time from some family members, and they still think I'm crazy because I'll watch a video and see something and be like, oh my God. And I'm like, it's just a part of life being out here.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have the best life in the world. You know why? Because one, I'm with my best friend and my wife. And two, we live in the country, out in the woods. We don't have to worry about anything but ourselves. Yep. And we have to take care of ourselves. And we need protection here, because you never know what could happen. Yeah. But we're free. We are actually free. Yeah. I never thought that I'd ever see myself being free living in the city and working in restaurants and that. The 18-hour days and, now I wake up in the morning, if I don't feel like doing nothing, I ain't doing nothing. It'll get done tomorrow. It's a great feeling, I mean, I just hope all you guys who are watching this now, if you ever thought about doing this, do your research. And always remember, it's never what it seems until you're out here. So do what we did.
You can't research every scenario that's going to happen. And you do have to have some basic skills to come out here.
Yeah, because if you come out here with absolutely no skills at all, you can learn, but it's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you big. Yeah,
and if you have somebody else that that is homesteading, pick their brain.
Oh yeah,
because they've lived it. And if you get an opportunity to spend some time with them and see what they're doing and how they're doing it, and if they have animals that you have or that you're interested in getting, go and learn from them.
Yeah. Take some time, spend 3 days every day. Sleep there, wake up, work with them, follow them around, do their chores with them, learn. Because I'll tell you right now, if you're going to do this, being that we're 1 year now, if you're really going to do this, what I suggest is start off with temporary setups. Because this way, if you can't do it, you can always pick up and leave. It's not what I want you to do, but I hate for you to dump all this money into it. See if it's the lifestyle for you. Because sometimes this lifestyle is not cut out for certain people.
It's not for everybody. It's hard.
It is.
It's very hard.
I mean, I ache and moan and groan and
Yeah.
I'm sore at night when I come in, but you know, my health.
Yeah, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, my health has changed drastically, in a point where I am healthier now than I can honestly say I think I have been in 20 years. I have completely changed. I'm sore. I'm old, but I'm sore. I'm sore from the work I'm doing. I'm sore from bending over 150 times to pick up wood, or reaching 150 times to put wood in stacking piles, moving logs like this that are this big around and lifting them up and holding them and carrying them. I mean, there's just, this is, you want extreme workout? Do this every day.
Yep.
That's an extreme workout.
Yep.
So.
And Justin probably in the last, I think he probably started losing weight before we moved out here. He was doing things at the apartment to help lose weight, but probably in the last year he's lost 75 to 100 pounds.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I haven't lost as much because I sit in the house 5 days a week and work.
Yeah.
It worked from home.
Yeah, another thing is too is that, you know, we're kind of lucky because Amy works, but I'm lucky that she can work from home, so somebody's here. And you know, you're probably saying, you know, I got a sugar mama. Yeah, I got a sugar mama. I worked my 18, my 20-hour days. Yeah. 6-7 days a week. Trust me, I work my butt off.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting now, I'm still working my butt off. I'm just not putting in all those hours. Now Homestead, at least, you know, when winter comes, you know you can put a good 6-7 hours in. That's about it. It's dark. I won't work in the dark, so I just go in the house. But during the summertime, I'll get up at 5 in the morning, drink coffee, be out of here by 6:30, be working all day, come back in about 5, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, eat dinner, and then sometimes go back out to do more stuff, you know, and work until 10 o'clock at night. So you got to pick and choose your vacation time. Yeah. And during the winter time is when I pick my vacation time. Yeah. So is there anything else that, you know, in the year that we've learned that just, besides, will we do this again? Most definitely. We love it here. Yep. When we come home, we're smiling. Yeah, this is our happy place. This is our happy place. This is it. You know? Wow. I'm so thankful for God and what He's given us and what He's provided us and what He's done for us. And you know, we've come across some really hard times where we didn't know what we were going to do. We were legitimately scared. I mean, we're grown adults and we're legitimately scared because we don't know where the next meal was coming from, or we didn't know if we were going to have enough firewood to survive. Yeah. And, you know, every time it seems like somebody was looking over us and showed us the way. So, at this point, guys, this is a pretty deep conversation from all of us to you, being, you know, a year old. But we're going for, it's 2021, and we're going to do this right. Yeah. We got some big projects coming up, guys. I hope that you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell and notification, tell your friends about us. But we've got some really big stuff coming up on the Homestead in the next 3 months. Yeah. Big stuff in the next 3 months. And this is stuff that we've been planning on. We've been here a year now. Now it's time to start building a permanent residency here, permanent homestead. We tried it. We love it. We're going to do it. Yep. And hopefully we can bring you guys along with us on our venture. And our grandkids, I'd just like to say hi to all of our kids. I'd like to say hi to Mom and my family members. Hi, y'all. You can see we're healthy. We're doing good. We're happy. Yep. That's the plus. Being happy is the plus. Yep. And, you know, we'll just take it day by day and work through the niches and stuff. You guys get to see all the stuff. So at that point, guys, we just want to say God bless you all. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. We really do appreciate it. And you got anything to close with, Amy? Nope. Thanks for watching. Yep. This is the Swisher Homestead. Yeah, guys, take it easy. Peace out. Make sure you hit the thumbs up to like the videos. Oh yeah, the thumbs up. Bye, guys. We'll see you real soon now.